Yo, what's up, Benton?
What's happening? Chalk body outline. Drew World Order.
What's good, my
Nice
man?
to chat with you.
You're coming in hot. The mic's coming in hot. Let me turn you down just a hair. We're here again, man. What's this, week 4 or 5? Something?
I think this is number 5, I believe.
Let's go, man. We're building the momentum. People are in the chat already. EBT's
Great.
here as always. What's good? Yeah, let's just jump right into it, man. What do you want to get into tonight?
Before I forget, I did another bonus Nightmare Dystopia. So that's nightmaredystopia.com/DLive2.mp3, the number 2. And then hopefully I'll remember to hit that again at the very end.
And then last night I did a live stream on YouTube with Layla. Let me pull it up. I did the it's still in my. I did the Travis Scott cover. I just called it Schizo World with the mask, the centipede mask, with or without dreads.
Oh, that's cool.
But
I can see the Benton and Drew. I saw that.
Yeah, and then I just thought this was like the cover itself. I just thought was funny, and there was some really triggered people, and I went back and listened to it. They said me and Layla were just spreading hate and all that. I went back and listened, and I was like, dude, we literally didn't even say anything about this guy other than go watch the one EBT and I did. Like, I didn't even talk about him. So I think these people just see this cover and they get triggered, and they literally don't even hear the words that you say.
Yeah. And then I had an idea about the toxic positivity, this idea that we're just supposed to, everything's sunshine and roses, and we're just supposed to be happy about everything and ignore, anything that's negative.
Yeah, there was comments like that. That was like, oh, why do you have to, I can pull some of them up. They're like, why did these channels have to, go at each other or whatever, something they were saying. And that's why I was like, I had to go back and listen to him. Like, man, what the hell did I say? And literally didn't say anything.
But you weren't being positive. See, it's if it's not positive, then it's negative. You're being negative, sir.
I did see comments like that. I'm trying to find it right now. They were like, why can't we just, here it is exactly what I'm talking about. Why can't you just support one another for different opinions and views? Well, because some views are wrong, and that's no different than what's going on in reality, where we just let people do whatever they want. And look at where that's got us. No one says anything to anyone out in public anymore for, dressing like a woman or anything like that.
But then Jurassic is walking around a mall parking lot on a live stream, and the fucking Gestapo shows up.
I saw that. That was classic. That was hilarious. Yeah, he would go to the Jurassic Liars. Shout out Jurassic Liars 26. He's out in some mall parking lot, and they're confronting him.
He was just walking around talking. That's all he was doing.
Yeah, and then they came up and said, "We got three reports." But that's
well,
where it's at, man.
I got 2 cell phones. Should I buy another phone and then I'll just start calling on people and get them harassed?
That's all it takes, I guess.
I mean, I got too mad. I couldn't even watch it. I had to turn it off.
It's funny that the second guy that came up, the second security guard who kind of defused the situation, his name was Jesse, and that's Elvis's twin's name, Jesse Garone.
Oh.
It's some gang stalker shit.
Yeah. Spiritual gang stalking.
Yeah, do these people just see, I think they see somebody and just get triggered by certain people that they can just sense. Maybe they have like a goodness in them or whatever.
Yeah, so that's demonic oppression, man. These demons came to attack.
That's what it looked like happened in that video.
I wonder if the audience knows what we're talking about.
Yeah, they do now. Yeah, they're asking if this is a live stream. Yeah, Vizia, this is a live stream. We are live Sunday night. It's December 19th. It's almost Christmas, man. Merry Christmas to everyone here, you and your families. We don't do that happy holidays bullshit here.
Oh, no. Still Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. I don't even know what we're going to get into, man. So you did say that, though, the positive toxicity, and I see that a lot. I see that's been part of the programming for a long time, and a big part of it is social media. You have Facebook, you have friends, you have a friend request. Everyone's your friend that you went to school with, and you never talk to them. Now they're your friend. And I noticed that was a big change in social media when before it was basically just the internet, and then it became almost exclusively social media. Is I used to do these. You guys see my graphics, man. I do these graphics. I've gotten pretty good over the years. I've done them many years, but I used to do them way back in the day on these like gangster rap forums, like in the late '90s, early 2000s, and these guys would all be putting out their own projects. I'm gonna pull up Pen and Pixel if any of you guys don't even know who that is, like some famous Pen and Pixel covers. No, I didn't think I was as good as Pen and Pixel back then, but I was like trying to get good. And I would go in these forums and I would say, hey man, here's my samples. If anyone wants me to make a cover for them, $20, $40 or whatever, hit me up. And the difference between then and now is those guys would roast me. They would be like, man, your shit is whack, dog. Your shit is terrible. Because it was like,
Yeah.
I think that friendship of the Facebook and everything wasn't there. So it was just kind of like, hey, fuck you. Your shit sucks. Where nowadays you post anything up on Facebook or whatever, you get all the likes, and your friends and family are all like, oh, amazing work, great job, and all this. And it gives them a false sense of accomplishment where I would have never got as good as I did making these graphics and stuff if back then they didn't push me more to be better.
Yeah, absolutely. But see, now it's the positive vibes only, or the good vibes only. The lady with the good vibes only T-shirt. Meanwhile, that's the most miserable people, in my view. It's if they're actually positive, I wouldn't think there'd be a need to put up a front about it.
Yeah, that's true. Right?
But real quick, I want to read the definition of toxic positivity. I'll keep this short. Toxic positivity is the phenomenon in which individuals do not fully acknowledge, process, or manage the entire spectrum of emotions, including anger and sadness. This genre of criticism against positive psychology argues that the field of positive psychology places too much importance on, quote, upbeat thinking, while shunting challenging and difficult experiences to the side. And I would argue that growth comes through the struggle and comes through confronting problems and difficult situations. So if I'm not willing to face the negativity or whatever, the negative form of the yin and the yang, then how am I ever going to grow and improve as a person, on whatever my path is in life? Because certainly I believe we're all here to do something or, some combination of things. And it's different for different people. But if I'm unwilling to process the negative emotions, then I'm not going to be able to accept criticism. And I think that's really what it comes down to, is this very light. On your recent live stream, it was some light criticism, and people, they just can't process it. So that's why I identified it as toxic positivity.
All year this year, we started the year, you and I and EBT, we started the year 2021 Scorched Earth. We might have even started it in December last year, maybe. And
oh yeah,
I feel like that set the trend, and now you see everyone else. It went to RV Truth and all these other people. I have no doubt these people sit and watch this, and I think they're actually like think tanks and actors, and they say, okay, this is what we got to emulate. I really believe that, but 2022, I got to be on something different, man. I think I'm going to go IRL 2022, go outside, because these truthers never leave their house, man. They're going to be like, what is that? Is that a tree?
Yeah. A mountain though, right? Aren't the mountains tree stumps?
Yeah.
Maybe they are. I'm not saying they're not, but I didn't know about any of that. But yeah, I've been thinking about maybe doing some in real life stuff as well.
Yeah, Jurassic
So we
was
seem
out
to
there
be.
tonight, man. That's the future. I guess. What else are you gonna do? Is sit here and do the same video over and over and. But yeah,
Yeah.
what I was gonna say about that though is when we started that last year and we talked about Matt, it was the same reaction. So here we are a year later, and it is literally the Yuri Bezmenov. People react to external stimuli in a programmed way, right? So we say this about Matt, and even a year later, they're still react in the exact same way. That's what's fascinating to me. It's not really, and I really didn't even say anything about him. But it's what's interesting to me is to watch the chimp out that follows.
Well, and then when people are talking about, why don't you, to paraphrase, one of the comments was basically like, you're being negative. Why don't you be positive? And then I responded basically like, yeah, I agree with you. So why don't you show Drew the same courtesy? It's like they're on they're on your comments being negative.
Yeah, a lot
Just
of the
like
comments are
people.
a lot of the comments, not just on my channel, just in general. I see them as psychological projection. There was the one guy that was like, "Oh, all you guys did was spew hate, and that bimbo you had on something." I was like, "Oh, what did we say? That's hate." But then he's spitting out like insults and everything.
Well, and another way I noticed this is that, I read the YouTube comments because I've been a fan of your channel for quite some time. But then I've been doing this podcast where there's nowhere for people to comment. So other than through Discord, the only feedback I get is people send me emails, and I've received 0 negative emails because it's not public. I think that, and like you're talking about with the projections, I think that there's something to, people being able to post their negative comments and then, get a response and see how people respond. But then nobody ever sends me negative emails. Now, maybe I'll get some now that I've said that, but I've had some where they're just like maybe wanting some clarification or just some very, very light constructive criticism, but I've never had anything negative in an email because there's nothing in it for them to send me a negative email because it's not public. So I wanted to see what you thought about that.
Yeah, that's interesting. They do like to, for whatever reason, try to put their thoughts up there and throw your train off, or what. I don't know why they do it, but it's interesting to me that they won't even press that button. Everyone has an email, so they won't even press a button to do the same thing to send it to you.
Yes, and I get really good emails. I just don't get that many of them, so it kind of sorts through the bullshit for me. Well, we've gotten to where people don't really read long comments anymore, myself included.
No. Yeah, there's a lot of
It's
these.
not gonna happen.
Once I see it, if it's like going on too long, I just go to the next one. So I did have this thought though that we've recently seen the YouTube take away the dislike button. Well, it's still there, but it's not displayed anymore. And they give you the whatever BS reason behind it. They say people are brigading smaller channels and thumbs downing them, which I have experienced that and stuff. But I believe the reason they're doing it is they're segueing into removing the comments. That's what I actually believe. I was thinking about that the other day. And as soon as COVID started, we saw Yahoo did that. I always like to go to Yahoo News because it seems very, very like normie and as dumbed down as it can be. So that's kind of where I go. And so as soon as COVID started, they basically turned off the comments for a very long time. And I think they brought them back maybe like, they were off for like over a year, I think. So recently they came back on, but I think that's where it's going to be going, because even me, myself, a lot of like rabbit holes or things that I've heard of are just different things I've read in the comments, either on YouTube's or news stories or something like that. Like somebody will drop one small little nugget and then I'll go research that. And I think they want to do away with that.
Yeah, that's interesting. It'll be interesting to see how that comes out.